All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy day before Thanksgiving. And boy, oh boy, we have a lot to be thankful for. We'll talk about that some more tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to do that story time at 4 o'clock so you can all get ready. We're going to do the Grunion story. It's going to be phenomenal. It'll be perfect. Get the family around, gather everybody up. Those of you that know the story, you're going to enjoy it. Hearing it again, and those of you that don't know the story, you're going to be blown away. And get your family and friends together. Thanksgiving, we're going to do a little story time right before you eat, or maybe you already ate at 4 o'clock. I'm not sure, but this will be phenomenal. Y'all want to be a part of it. It's going to be funny. Today, though, we're going to talk about how great fishing is and why is fishing so great for every member of the family, everything about fishing, and why is it so great. So hang in there. We're going to get going in just a second. First of all, I need your help, folks. I need everybody that can jump on Facebook. If you have a few minutes of your busy day, and Kelly and I will give you, somebody's going to receive a free t-shirt from Your Saltwater Guide. And we'll get it out to you. And here's how it's going to work. I need you to go to a video. The video is how to tie the double uni knot. It's very easy to find how to tie the double uni. I want you to go there and I want you to share it. It was put out 4 days ago. I want you to go there and I want you to share how to tie the double uni with all your friends and families. And of everybody that shares that, we're going to pick one person, and tomorrow we're going to give you a free shirt. And then we're going to grab another video, and we're going to do that again tomorrow. And then we're going to do that until the end of November. We're going to give away a few shirts here this week. But I need help with these videos. I need you to share these videos. This is going to help me out. It's going to help out my good friend, Elliot. And I will always entertain you. And I'll always have these great seminars. I just need you guys to do me a big favor and go to how to tie the double uni. Grab that video and share it. All right. If you can do that for me, that would be spectacular. I'd really, really appreciate it. It's on my Facebook, Your Saltwater Guide Facebook. Check it out. Go there, look at it. Those of you that are afraid of Facebook, there's no reason to be afraid of Facebook, especially if you're on Instagram. The same person owns Instagram that owns Facebook. I don't know if you know that or not, so don't be scared. It's going to be okay. You only have to look at what you want to look at. You don't have to look at anything else. That's the unique thing about all these social media platforms. Just go in there, do your business, and get out. I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook looking at stuff that doesn't pertain to what I do or my friends, and you don't have to either. But go on there and check out that video, how to tie the double uni. Your Saltwater Guide, and share it. And we're going to pick one person to give away a shirt tomorrow. All right. Another thing, today is Akuma Wednesday. We always talk about an Akuma product. Today we're talking about the Azor Reel. The Azor Reel. I don't know if you guys saw that video we put out, Elliot put out for you a couple days or yesterday about the needlefish. We caught that on the beach fishing with this Azor spinning reel. I'm telling you, you need, gang, if you're having trouble casting or if you're trying to fish in the surf, this Azor series reels is absolutely incredible. Go to Akuma, check it out. Any of your local tackle stores that sell Akuma products, if they don't have this Azor series reels, you can get one. You can get them. You can get them sent to that tackle store. You can order them online. You can find the Azor series reels, but I'm telling you, you can fish the popper for the bluefin with this reel. You can fish in the surf like we were doing with different types of lures. You can fly line big mackerel with these things. You can fish this Azor reel for pretty much everything that swims in Southern California. Maybe you're not going to catch a 400-pound bluefin, but you can catch 100-pounders all day with this reel filled with braided line. So check out the Azor series reels from Akuma and get online and go find these or find them at your local tackle store. But get yourself an Azor reel. It's going to be absolute game changer for those of you that aren't real adept on casting. All right. So what am I talking about? Why do I think it's so important that for everyone to understand how great fishing is? Well, fishing brings together so much. Fishing is what brought together me and my beautiful wife, Kelly. Right, Kelly? because Kelly loves to fish. And then she was wanting me to take her fishing before we ever started dating. That's what she wanted. That was her thing. I'm telling you, fishing is absolutely incredible, gang. If you can get your children into it or your spouse or your friends, fishing brings so many people together in such a positive way. Once you learn how important that whole fishing thing is, you can do it anywhere. You don't have to have a lot of money. You go fishing. You can go fishing on the beach for free. You can go fishing on a pier for free. You can get some, you can go to a thrift store. You can go, there's plenty of places where you can get some low-end tackle. You don't have to have the very best tackle in the world to go fishing. You can go fishing on a lake. You can go trout fishing, bass fishing, bluegill fishing. You can go stream fishing for trout. You can do anything. Don't say you can't go fishing. You don't have the ability to go fishing because you can't afford it. You don't need to have a lot of money to go fishing. Look at the one video I put out a couple of weeks ago, how it all started with me. Fishing with a piece of string, a piece of line, a hook, and a piece of bread. And the young man's throwing that piece of bread into the rocks, and he's catching little pargos and little perch and little sergeant majors right off the dock. Well, that's how it started for me when I was a little boy, fishing off my dad's docks, fishing off the end of the San Clemente Pier, dropping down a drop line, a yellow square that had the green Dacron line wrapped around it and a hook and a little sinker, dropping it down next to the pilings on the end of the San Clemente Pier and snagging little fish and bringing them up. That's where it all started. And it's a passion that lives with me. And those of you that only like to catch big tuna, that's all you like to catch. Well, then you don't like fishing. I'm sorry. You're not into fishing. You're into showing people pictures of you catching a big fish, but you're not into it. Got to get into it. You got to get passionate about it. And you have to turn the other people in your lives onto that passion of fishing. It's so important. We all need to understand that the children that are looking up to you, they need to learn how to fish. If you don't know how to fish, find a friend of yours that knows how to fish. Get that bond going with the fishing thing. It's going to help you tremendously with your children, interacting with your children, with your spouse. Everything is much better when you are fishing. When you have a piece of line in your hand with a hook on the end of it, life is just much better. There is never a time where Kelly and I don't think about fishing. If we're driving by a piece of water, we look at it. Kelly always asks me, hey, what kind of fish do you think lives in that water? What kind of fish do you think we could catch there? What kind of fish do you think we could catch here? Hey, do you think Zach and Sean would like fishing there? What about Riley? Riley would probably love to fish in that little piece of water right there because it's so beautiful. It's the passion of fishing, and it's so important. And it's so great to be involved in fishing, gang. And you don't, like I said, you don't have to have a lot of money to do it. You don't have to have the very best equipment in the world to do it. But you need to understand that passion. And you need to understand how spectacular it is. And that's why I always talk about taking children fishing and how important it is to make it as positive an experience as you possibly can. When you're going to take your children fishing, gang, or take your spouse, don't take them all day. Take them for just little bits and pieces where they can start to understand and it doesn't become boring. And the only reason it would become boring is because you didn't follow some simple instructions. You didn't get the right hooks. You didn't get the right line. You didn't get the right things. But you don't have to spend a lot of money to get all those things right. You do need to understand that you got to keep the negative out of it and make it positive. And every fish that's caught is the greatest fish in the world. If you have a negative attitude about the fishing thing and you tell your children or your spouse, oh, it's just another short calico bass. Oh, it's just another mackerel. Oh, it's another bonita. Oh, no. That is the worst thing I've ever heard. I hate when I hear crew members on sport boats say, oh, it's just a damn bonita. Gang, you have no idea what it's like running a boat with 50 or 60 people on it and not catching anything. And now that bonita's back in the bite and it's biting good at Catalina and stuff. And it's an important fishery in Southern California. And if you got a crew member that's saying negative in his voice when he's talking about the fish that your passengers are catching, you got to fix that. It's up to us as captains to take that negative condensation away and understand that every single fish matters. And it's so important to make sure that we're all involved in this fishing thing, because all they want to do in the great state of California is stop us from fishing. They do not want us to enjoy the outdoors. They don't like me at all because I got a tan and I enjoy fishing and I have a big smile on my face when I'm outside. I'm like enemy number one. But I'm trying to help you understand how important it is to get this fishing passion thing. And I have a lot of clients that call me up and they say, oh, I only want to catch a tuna. I go, I'm probably not your guy then. If that's all you want to do is catch a tuna, you need to move out of California. You need to move down to Mexico, or you need to move to South Africa or Australia or somewhere where they have tuna year round. Because if that's all you like to catch, then you don't like to fish. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. You don't enjoy the passion of fishing. And there's so many fish to catch in Southern California. We're talking about the artificial reefs. We're talking about the piers. We're talking about the docks that are available, fishing docks. All those things matter. Are the lakes and streams around California? You got to get into this. You got to get your children out there, your spouses out there, and you've got to understand how great it is to have that ability to throw a line in the water and catch something. And you might even catch something that's good to eat and take it home and eat it. There's nothing better than catching your own fish, taking it home and eating it. But it's up to you all as charter boat captains, as crew members, as deckhands. Lose the negative. There's so much negative in the world, and I'm sick of reading all this negative stuff about crew members and captains that don't understand this passion of fishing. Gang, it's up to you. And there is a ton of captains that listen to me every single day. And there's a ton of deckhands that listen to me. And there's a ton of moms and dads that listen to me. Gang, it's about making fishing great. You have to. It's super important, because you're going to look up. A lot of you are going to get to be my age when you're 60, 61 years old, and you're going to go, wow, we're not allowed to fish anymore. There was this guy on the internet back. I don't know if you remember, kids, there was this thing called the internet, and there was this guy on there that talked about fishing all the time and talked about how they were trying to take it all away from us. There's going to be a time in the great state of California where you're not going to be able to fish anymore. It's coming faster and faster and faster. The train is going down the track so fast right now, I can't even believe it. I'll give you a little inside information here. My father told us when they were doing this MLP back in 2000, when it first went through and there was a timeline. My father said they will never close Laguna in my lifetime. And I used to have to tell him all the time, Dad, you're still alive and Laguna's closed. All of the city of Laguna Beach is closed to fishing. A third of Catalina is closed to fishing. And it's sad because it doesn't help anything to close these areas to fishing. It didn't restore fishing. You cannot adversely affect the population of the fish in the ocean with the fishing reel. Not even you, Pete. You're not even that good. I know you catch a lot of fish, but you're not that good. Gang, it's about now. It's about time. It's time for us to understand, to make fishing great again. And something that's going to really help make fishing great again is the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Festival, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of March. That is going to be a coming together of all of us in the industry. You're going to see so many of the names of the industry, and so many of the manufacturers of great fishing products are all going to be at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show in Orange County, California on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of March. It's going to be spectacular. Kelly and I will be there. Well, like I said, we'll have a big, giant booth. We're going to have our fishing simulator in there. We're going to have the ProTech offshore fighting grips. And we all need to come together. We all need to show up at this show. We need to let them know that we all care about fishing. If you all show up there, it's going to show everybody how important and how we all can stand together. Yeah, Justin, I like that. MFGA, make fishing great again. It's super important for all of us, gang. We all need to be on board. We all need to understand that they're trying so hard to take away something that is so great. It brings families together. It brings relationships together. It brings fathers and sons together, moms and daughters, and moms and sons and fathers. And it just brings everybody together. So many people have told me the story about when they went to the fishing show and they caught their first trout with their mom or their father at those catch out pools at the Fred Hall show and at the PCS show. And what a big difference it was and how it got that going. I remember the first time I went fishing with my dad, I knew right then that that's all I wanted to do for the rest of my life was fish. I knew that the day I first went when I was 3 years old. I tell that story on Michael Folks when he interviewed me on Inside Sport Fishing. And I still remember when I was 3 years old and my mom put my shoes on, sitting on the counter in our kitchen to go fishing with my dad. And I didn't know that my dad was the big human being that he was in the industry and that he was the Don of sport fishing in Southern California. I didn't know all that. I just knew that I was going fishing with my dad. And my kids got to fish since they were little. My wife and I, Kelly, we fish a lot. We try to fish as much as we can. It brings you together. It brings you closer to that spirit thing. It just being in the ocean or being on a lake or being on a stream and fishing. It's just when that line touches that water, it's a Zen experience for me. And hopefully we can turn more people onto it. And it's those of you that already own this disease called fishing, it's up to you guys to share it. And if you're on a sport boat and you're burnt out and you don't get this, you don't understand this, you don't know. I remember when I was running, I used to think, man, this is so cool. I get to fish for a living. I get to go out on a boat in the ocean and take people fishing. I thought that was the coolest thing. I thought I had made it to the top. I know there's a lot of people that don't feel that way in the industry. There's a lot of deckhands and captains that are burnt out. They don't have a great attitude. I don't understand it. If you don't like it, get out of it because you're ruining it for other people. And we don't want to ruin it for anybody else. If it's not your passion and you don't get, because you're not going to get rich. We already know that. You're not going to get financially set. You're going to have a real hard time making it on the salary of a captain or a deckhand on a sport fishing boat. I already know that better than anybody. It has to be your passion. And you have to understand that. And you cannot keep spewing negative out there. I'm sorry. Those of you that are listening that are super negative, I'm picking on you. You're absolutely right. We need to change this whole culture. That's why over at Your Saltwater Guide, we have that big forum we all talk to each other on. We share all our information on there at Your Saltwater Guide because we're trying to change the culture. We're trying to take the negative out of this fishing thing and keep it as positive as we possibly can. It's super important, gang. That's why you don't hear me cuss, because I don't want to lose anybody. I don't want to lose anybody. So you don't ever hear me cuss. If I do ever cuss, at ever bad word comes out of my mouth at a trade show, every child in the audience gets free stuff. It's how I've done it for the last 25 years. And I've spoke a lot at a lot of clubs and a lot of trade shows. And I try to keep it as positive as I possibly can. And I wish the rest of you all would do that. I really hate these guys that are on social media that every other word out of their mouth is an F-bomb. You're just screwing this up for everybody else. Remember, when you're on social media, people are actually listening to you. And the reason you're on there is to get the people to listen to you. So understand, you choose your words carefully. All right? Let's keep it positive. Fishing is great. I think it's the greatest pastime in the world. It's something we all can do no matter what. Like when we take the war heroes out on the water fishing, we take men and women that have double amputees, have all kinds of all kinds of things going on in their lives, all kinds of really, really gnarly things. But when we bring everybody together out on the boat, we're all equal. We're all throwing our line in that same pond, trying to catch that same fish. And it doesn't matter. We all get supercharged out of it. So please keep the negative in your tackle box the next time you go out. Quit being negative to the people around you. If you're super grumpy and you hate your life, don't go. Don't go, because you're going to share that grumpy hate with all the people around you. Try to keep it positive. For those of you that are social media influencers that are fishing, try to clean up your language. Remember, there's a bunch of children out there that we need to help get out there fishing, and their parents aren't going to let them watch you if every other word out of your mouth is an F-bomb. You don't need to cuss. It's not important. It doesn't make you a bigger, better fisherman because every other word out of your mouth is a cuss word. It just makes you look silly, and it makes you look ignorant, because it's up to us. We're the people they're watching. It's super important. All right? Understand that. They're all watching us. They're watching us all the time. And if you're spewing neg out your mouth and you're spewing cuss words out your mouth, we're losing. We're losing people, and what makes fishermen look really, really bad. I don't care what you think. It's the honest to God truth. That is what you're doing. You are pushing people away from this sport. All right? That's my show for today, gang. Tune in tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. Try to be cool. Try to understand. This is when your families come together and lots of stuff gets discussed that probably shouldn't get discussed. But be cool to each other. Be kind. I will have a great show for you tomorrow, and then we'll do that 4 o'clock story time, the Grunion. It's going to be hilarious. You guys will get a kick out of it. Your children can listen to the story. I promise I don't cuss. Your children are going to laugh harder than you. I promise you. Tune in, everybody, across all social media, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Everybody's going to get story time tomorrow. You're going to love it. It's going to be great. If you haven't ever heard it before, it is a all-time classic. What am I talking about? I did story time during the pandemic. Every single day, we did story time for a year, and I told stories about my personal life. And this one was one of the classics. I ended up telling it 4 different times because everybody loved it so much. We're going to do it tomorrow. I promise you, you'll be entertained. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching us. See you at those of you that I haven't met and haven't seen yet. Make sure you're at the PCS show. Go over there and order your tickets sooner than later, gang. It'd be a great holiday gift for somebody in your family. Come to the PCS show. I will be there. I will entertain you, I promise. Plus, there'll be plenty of other people there to have. You'll have a really good time. Bill's going to have the trout ponds there. A lot of children will be able to catch their very first fish. The PCS show is going to be a blast. It's in Orange County, so it's dead center in the middle of everything. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Be kind to each other. See ya.